guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this kimono jacket. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is to fold my fabric into two, which I've already done here. So as you can see, the fabric is folded into two, and then I'm going to fold it again into four. This is just the way the akara came, like this way, right? But as you can see, I split it here because I want to use this as the length, like the body of the kimono, and then this is what is left. So my sleeve and the part of the neckline will come from this. So first of all, this is the length I'm working with. So I'm working with about 26.5. I'm going to use 1 inch to fold it and half an inch to join the shoulder. So that's why I added 1.5 to it. And then for the width, you can do the widest part of her body, maybe her chest, her tummy, or the hip, wherever it is. Whatever the measurement is at that point, you're going to take it and then add maybe extra 3 inches or 4 inches to it, depending on you and how big you want it on the child. So the next thing I'm going to do is just to go up here to the shoulder and do her shoulder measurement divided. And by the way, this is for a 6-year-old. So I'm going to do her shoulder divided by 2, which is going to give me about 6.5. Mark that here. First of all, I'm going to come down here by half an inch, and then I'm going to insert. If you don't know how you're going to calculate this, just divide her chest measurement by 6 and then add 1.5 to it. So whatever it is, you're going to now use it as the length that you have here. So I'm going to mark at 7 here and then connect it all the way to the top. And then after that, the next thing you're going to do is her bust divided by 4. So the chest measurement I'm working with here is about 28, and then mark it. And then I have extra 3 inches added here. So guys, it depends on you, but remember from 3 inches up, because remember 1 inch is still going to serve as your seam allowance. So 2 inches is enough because it's still on both sides of the front and both sides of the back. You don't want it to way too big, except you want it to be, then you can go ahead and do more than that. So now the next thing I'm going to do is just to give it a curve here, and then I'm going to go ahead and mark 2.5 for the neckline. Guys, if you're making it for less than 5 years old, you can do 2 inches for the neck width, but from 6 up, you can do 2.5. Or even if the child is bigger, like more chubby, you can even go ahead and do 3 inches. It depends on you. So I'm going to just go ahead and connect the shoulder slope here, and then I'm going to mark 1 inch for the neckline and connect it this way. So I'll go ahead and cut this. The rest of this will remain straight. So I'm going to go ahead, cut this out, cut the shoulder slope, and cut out the arm. So guys, I've cut out this part here and then cut out the shoulder slope and then the neckline. So you see I have 2 of this at this point. So I have 2. So I'm going to take away 1 for my front and then 1 for the back, because I'm going to be cutting it differently. So I'm going to take this out and then also take this one out this way. So now we can start with the front panel. So for the front, so guys, the first thing you're going to do is from the neck, you're going to mark down to at least 9 inches or so. It depends on you. And so guys, I'm going to mark 0.75 here, but going down, I'm going to just blend it into half an inch all the way down. I'm going to go ahead now and cut this out all the way. See, now I have my front panel. I'm going to set it aside. So now we are going to cut the back. You can also go ahead at the armhole here, coming by about 0.5, and then just chip out a little, so that when you attach your sleeve, it will relax better. Just cut it off. This is for the front panel, and those are the 2 changes you'll be making. After that, you just set it aside and then move over to the back. So you see the back, I'm leaving it at the wrong side so we can be able to differentiate it. So for the back, what I'm going to be doing, bearing in mind that I took away 2.5 from the neckline, so I'm just going to write that out so that I know that this is what I'm going to use to replace, because we're still going to be putting in our band for the neck, right? So now what I'm going to do is just to mark 1 inch as my seam allowance. Normally this would have been cut out with just half an inch, maybe to use bias to turn it over. But like I said, I'm not going to be using bias. I'm going to fold the fabric on itself. So instead of folding it the way it is now, I'm going to go ahead and add 1 inch to it extra. I'll show you guys how I'm going to make use of this 1 inch. So all I'm cutting is this other one. So I'm going to cut it from here this way down. Now that is out, the next thing I'm going to do is just to fold half an inch and then fold half an inch again, just like that. I folded this out of the way, you see, for this side. So it's going to be like this, and then I'm also going to do the same thing, fold half an inch first, just like how you normally fold the edge of your clothes, right, the hem, and then fold this one away, sew it down, and then it will face this way. So the two of them will be facing each other this way, and then my bow will come in like this. You understand? My bow will now come in this way, in between, all the way to the end. So now the first thing I'm going to go ahead to do is just to take it now, fold this edge like I said, fold this other one too, and then I'm going to join the shoulder to the shoulder, right? So you're going to take the front, join it shoulder to shoulder, this one on this side, and then this one on this other side, and then you're going to go ahead and attach your sleeve. So guys, this is what I'm using for the sleeve. Like I said, it's cut into 2 again, and then because we're cutting the 2 sides together, the width I have here is the same what you use for your armhole. You can add extra like 2 inches to it, because remember there is a lot of seam allowance this time around because of the ease you're adding to the kimono. So you can do whatever you got, like how I got 7, you can do plus extra 2 inches to it, just to extend it a little bit more. It's better to cut off the excess than to have less than what you need. So now I'm going to go up to the top here and mark about 2.5 for the cap height. Mark from this point here, because I want this sleeve up to her elbow or just before her elbow. And then the length between here is 9. Find halfway through that, give it a curve below this way, and then give it a curve above this way. And then you're going to insert what her elbow measurement is. Whatever that is, you're going to go ahead and mark it, plus 1 inch of seam allowance, and then you're going to go ahead and connect it to the top. So now I'm just going to go ahead and cut it. Guys, another thing is that if you're looking at the picture, you notice that the curve of the of this kimono is a little bit fitted on her. So if you don't want yours fitted, what you can do is just to go ahead and just leave it straight the way it is. That way to give you that boxy kimono look, right? If you want the opening to just still be as wide, just once you cut out this top part, leave the square the way it is, or you can just remove 1 inch from it just to narrow it a little bit. Or if you want, you can put in what her arm is and then add extra like 3 inches to it, 1 inch of your seam allowance, 2 inch of ease, whatever that is. So you can use it that way too. So I'm going to take this out now, and then I'm going to go ahead and start joining it. So guys, this is it here. I've joined the shoulder together, and this is the body here. So you see, I also went ahead and attached the pocket to it. If you would like that, just come down from her shoulder at least 2 inches from her waist, from her shoulder to her waist, and then 2 inches after that you're going to insert a pocket about 8 inches of width and let's say 8 inches of length and 7 inches of width, including you're going to then add your half an inch of seam allowance or so. So that is what I'm working with here. The next thing, so guys, you can use 7 inches here, and then half an inch will be your seam allowance, so that when you're done you'll be left with 6 inches. And then for the length, you see, you can do more than 8 inches so that you're able to fold the top part and then use it for your pocket. So that's basically it for now. So the next thing is to add the band, so the collar that will go round. So I have this here. For an adult, when we make it, remember you normally do like 5 inches. So when you fold it into 2, you have about, let's say maybe if you fold it into 2, you have 2.5 here, 2.5 here. I mean the width. And then you will now use half an inch to join it so that the band will be 2 inches of length. But 2 inches of length will be too much for a baby, for a little girl. So what you're going to do is you're going to, if she's less than, like, let's say less than 5 years old, you can go ahead and do about 4 inches. About 4 inches. So like less than 5 5-year-old, you can do 3.5, and then from 5 to 10 you can do about 4 inches. So this one here is a 6-year-old, like I said, so I'm doing 4 inches. Going to join this is to fold half an inch on this edge here, and then half an inch on this other edge here, and then join the two of them together this way, and then you're going to fix this in between it like this. Take it and fix it in between, and then you're going to continue sewing it all the way to the top. And then once you get here, remember when we were cutting it, we left 2.5 on each side. So there's 2.5 coming from this side, there's 2.5 coming from this side, and then there's the midline. So 2.5 will give us 5 inches, right? So that means once I get to this point, I'm going to skip about 5 inches at the collar, and then cross over to this other side, and then continue my sewing all the way. That is joining my band again all the way to the end. You understand? So I'm going to go ahead now and do that, and then come back. So guys, after that, you're also going to have to attach your sleeve and close up the side, and then we can come back and do the bow for the back. So guys, you see where we are now. I've gone ahead, finished my bow, the neckline. I've joined it the way I told you guys. So you see it came from this side, and then I folded the seam allowance all the way to the other side, and then continued my stitch again this way. So you see it just went one from one side of the neck on the back to this other side, and then continue all the way to this end here. So now for the back, this is what I have. So basically, ahead and put in one. So what you're going to do here, how you're going to determine the box, like the square, the measurement is basically the measurement you had, like how we said is 5 inches, right? The distance you had from here to here, that's 5 inches, which is 2.5 on this side, 2.5 on this side, which is what you use for the neckline. When you add it together, that is what you're going to use. So you're going to get your fabric, and then you're going to fold it into two, making sure that you have about the 5 inches in between, right? So I have my 5 inches in between, and then I need at least half an inch to join the edge. First of all, I need the 5 inches for the width, and then I need at least half an inch added to it for my seam allowance to close up the edge, right? But then you also need at least, let's say, 1 inch more, just because, you know, when you're making the bow, you still fold it in a little bit by the width. So that part that will help to drag this down and drag this other side down, just so that it's not like when you pull it together, you know, it's going to shrink and pull the two sides together. Like if you put this in between now straight, it's different from when you try to give it a bow and then shrink the center part. It's going to be dragging this to the center and dragging this to the center. Just so that you'll be able to maintain that measurement, you need to add at least, so like I said, I have my 5 inches is exactly what I need. Then half an inch to join this to close up this edge here, right? And then I have at least extra 1 inch again added to it, and then half an inch because you will still need to sew this on top of this side and on top of this other side. You understand? So I added at least extra 2 inches more to whatever my measurement was at the top, or you can do extra 2.5 more, just so that you can do the seam allowance, have an inch to sew it on top of each side, and then still have enough for where you pull the bow. And then for the bow, if you look at the picture, you find that she didn't use anything other than just to pull the fabric together this way and make a straight stitch in between. So you're going to shrink it together and make a stitch in between. You're not going to use another fabric to form a bow. It's just a stitch. You see, it's a stitch that I use, but I try to double the stitch at least maybe 2 or 3 times so it doesn't rip apart. But as you're making the stitch, try to pull it and give it a little fold to form the bow. So I'm going to do 5 inches in between from the shoulder to here, 5 inches, and then another 5 inches in difference, or you can even do difference of maybe 3 inches after the first one, and then another one. So I'm going to have 3 bows here. It won't get to the very end. I'm going to leave about 3 inches before I get to the end, and then what I'm going to do is just to fold the edge of the cloth on this side and fold the edge of the cloth on this side, and that will be it. So guys, this is what it looks like at the moment. It's done. And you can see I added 3 bows to it, and then this is also the front. So that's basically it here. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Guys, please like, share and subscribe. Bye.